BiggerPockets is an empire of over 2 million investors with 6 podcasts, 53 books, and over 1 million combined YouTube subscribers. But how? BiggerPockets is the website for both real estate beginners and experts to get real help for their business, all completely for free. And their product would revolutionize the real estate industry forever. BiggerPockets free membership was a no-brainer offer for real estate investors. You get any question you want answered, access to tons of files shared by the community, you get your own blog to build your brand, and free networking with investors, agents, lenders, you name it, without any of the in-your-face selling. They even attracted volunteer moderators to help remove spam and self-promotion. You see, most real estate websites at the time targeted newbies to sell their trainings to, but BiggerPockets did the opposite. They attracted experts across all real estate fields. When a pro would write a guest blog post for BiggerPockets, the company would promote it with their huge audience, giving that expert more brand awareness and credibility in their field. BiggerPockets was then able to leverage their uniquely expert content by cross-promoting with huge media sites like CNBC, Forbes, LA Time, Inman News, Huffington Post, US News, Realtor.com, Motley Fool, etc. This would further expand BiggerPockets' reach, attract an even bigger audience, which then incentivizes experts to contribute even more, creating a snowball effect. Hundreds of members were signing up for BiggerPockets every single week, and the site was quickly amassing a library of high-quality real estate education that could not come close to being matched anywhere else on the internet, and it was all free. But how did BiggerPockets make money? Without promoting courses, they needed to create an entirely different business model than the competition. BiggerPockets' monetization model had 2 main components. The first was advertising partnerships. BiggerPockets would show their ads on their site and include their info in their newsletter, which was emailed 3 times a week to over 100,000 investors. The second was paid memberships. Even though a majority of members would stay on the free plan, a certain percentage would upgrade who wanted extra perks and networking capabilities. And BiggerPockets only needed a small percentage of them to become profitable. The business model Josh developed has proven to be profitable and sustainable. He's finally able to support his family on his income. Over the next 3 years, BiggerPockets grew from 25,000 to over 70,000 members. But this rapid growth takes a toll on Josh. He's a one-man show with a major problem.
I got to this point where I just run myself ragged. I came to be ready to quit, and instead of working on the business, I was working in the business exclusively. I built too much, too many features. It wasn't simple enough. I was doing the job of, 17 different people. So we made the decision that we would start and hire one person who could lighten the load for me.
What's going on, everyone? It's Brandon Turner, host of the BiggerPockets podcast, here with another incredible episode, show 436.
The start of 2012, 8 years after the founding of BiggerPockets, Brandon Turner joins the BiggerPockets team. If the first half of BiggerPockets growth was all about Josh Dorkin, the second half is about Brandon Turner. Let's rewind for a second. It's 2006. Josh quits his job, starting his 6-year full-time grind with BiggerPockets. At the same time, Brandon Turner graduated college and bought his first property. He wanted to flip properties, but in 2008, the market crashed.
And then the market just dropped more and more and more, and I couldn't sell them. So I ended up with a few houses that I couldn't sell, turned them into rental properties.
He had some rentals and ended up seller financing a rundown 24-unit apartment complex with no money down. Over the next 3 years, he continued to study real estate, buy up rentals, and spend most of his time fixing up and managing his apartment building. In 2011, it generated enough passive income where he was finally able to quit his job and apparently start a website.
I started blogging on this little website I started called Real Estate in Your 20s.
Remember the model that BiggerPockets used to attract real estate experts? Brandon Turner was one of those experts.
So we made the decision that we would start and hire one person who could lighten the load for me.
He put on his Facebook, hey, I'm looking for someone to help me edit blog posts. Who's good at editing and wants to make some money? I was like, I'll do it.
And them coming together was rocket fuel for BiggerPockets. 2012, they have 80,000 members. Brandon Turner becomes face of the brand, and they launch their YouTube channel. 2013, 125,000 members. The BiggerPockets podcast launched.
We want to be the top 100 business podcasts. We want to be in the top 100 of all business podcasts. And the day we launched, we hit number 6.
2014, 150,000 members. BiggerPockets podcast hits 1 million downloads. Scott Trench was hired for operations, and Brandon doubles down on content. 2015, 230,000 members, 1 million total forum posts, 2 top 10 best-selling books published. 2016, 360,000 members, 1.5 million forum posts. Webinars help BiggerPockets double their members in a year. 2017, 700,000 members. The YouTube channel approaches 200,000 subscribers. They have over 30 employees with 25 million podcast downloads. In 2018, they reached 1 million members. And Josh Dorkin quits BiggerPockets.
One of my kids had a medical trauma, and I had to step away.
All of a sudden, he disappears from the public eye. So Josh sells a portion of his ownership in BiggerPockets in a deal with a private equity company. He steps down as CEO to take care of his family and is replaced by BP veteran Scott Trench. This began a series of sweeping changes in the company over the next 4 years.
One of the fundamental problems I have right now is BiggerPockets is big, but our podcast cannot speak every week to the needs of a certain cohort of users. And so what we're doing is we're building out sub-brands like Real Estate Rookie, BiggerPockets Business, BiggerPockets Money, those types of things that allow our users to get a more tailored experience in those areas. And the idea is to build brands around that, not just podcasts, but Facebook groups and website experiences and YouTube channels and books and those types of things.
And throughout all this, Brandon Turner continues to be the face of BiggerPockets and continues to grow his own rental portfolio. In 2019, he founds Open Door Capital to raise money and scale up his acquisition of properties. Here's an excerpt from his YouTube ad.
Well, my name is Brandon Turner, and I am a pretty wealthy guy as well. I'm no Donald Trump, but I sell hundreds of thousands of books every year. I ran the largest real estate podcast on earth for almost a decade, and I buy a few thousand rental property units every year through my company, Open Door Capital.
Because of Brandon Turner's vast rental experience and social media reach, Open Door Capital experienced massive growth.
So it took me, 13 years to get to 100 units. It took me 2 more years to get to 3,000.
If you're interested in investing with Brandon, links in the description. He eventually leaves BiggerPockets in 2022 to focus on Open Door Capital full-time, marking the end of an era for BiggerPockets. But the company is in good hands. Scott's plan worked. BiggerPockets gained over 1 million more members in just 4 years under his leadership, truly solidifying BiggerPockets as a media empire, with, at the time of this video, over 2.5 million members. The BiggerPockets journey taught me that if you build the business to serve customers before profits, bring the right people on board, nothing can stop you. And this was confirmed by Brandon himself. I tracked him down and cornered him at dinner. All right, question for you, Brandon. What do you contribute is the number one reason why BiggerPockets grew to be the empire that it was?
Oh man, easy answer. So Josh Dorkin, who started BiggerPockets in his basement, 20 years ago or whatever, he always had the belief that if you build what we call like a know, like, and trust audience, which means people who know you, like you, and trust you, if you build that and don't worry about monetizing, you can monetize later, right? So BiggerPockets never sold anything for years. Even when he launched a pro membership, it was like $4, and then like later it was $9, and now today it's like $39. But we built like well over 1 million people were on the email list, I think, before we ever had anything big to sell. And so when you focus on the community first, not the money first, then the community will love you, and then you can sell them what you want later. You can sell them a book or a podcast or a webinar or a pro membership because the people love you. So that's really what blew it up.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.